I honestly do not know how to start off this video without it being super awkward. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. God, that was bad. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't made a video in a while, since the beginning of this year, actually starting from last year, and this video was actually very long overdue. As you can tell, I don't sound normal. I'm actually just getting over a cold. Before we get into this video, go ahead, if you haven't already, like, comment, or subscribe to this video. Links will be listed down below in the description box. So in this video, I'm just gonna cover a couple of things. Basically, from the title, it's called 2018 versus 2019. Stuff that happened in 2018 and stuff that I'm continuing in 2019. So basically it's just kind of like a pillow talk, but let's just get right into it. So 2018, that was quite a year for me. Lots of new beginnings. Actually, not really new beginnings. There was just a lot of things that I had to come to terms within myself last year. Stuff that I learned. There was a lot of growth that I'm actually continuing on this year in 2019. A lot of stuff have happened life-wise. A lot of stuff that I've learned about myself, and also changing my mindset as well. But let's go ahead and get the superficial things out of the way. I gained 30 pounds. I have an implant, the Nexplanon birth control implant in my arm. I've had it for 2 years and it's actually driving me nuts. It's the reason for a lot of things. I had horrible skin, really bad mood swings, terrible hormones. I've also had urinary tract infection. It also caused a major weight gain, and I'm gonna get rid of it this year. That's one of my self-care goals. I did schedule an appointment, so hopefully we can get this out ASAP. I hit a milestone last year in my online fitness business, which kind of kicked off a bunch of things for me. I got invited to 2 free trips paid by Team Beachbody, which I actually had to deny the invitations because I already had plans for this year, which is why I can't go to the said for the all expense paid trips that I got invited to. So I had to ixnay on that because I had my own plans this year and next year as well. Also, I am signed up as an ambassador for the women's fitness athletic line called Just Strong. They're just a fitness brand, a women's fitness brand that promotes and empowers women through fitness and health. So if you want to check out their products, I will leave a link below. I will leave my discount below. My son turned 2 last year. It was a really small party, just close families and friends came out, but he had a really good time, and I'm really excited to see where his what the future holds for him. Another thing, we also bought a new car last year. Our old car, which was a Scion, we had it for like 6 years. We had to say goodbye to our baby because some idiot ended up crashing into the car. We weren't in it, it was actually parked. Some idiot came home one day, crashed into our car, and then that was it. But luckily, given our jobs, we were able to save up enough money to get a brand new car. So now we are now the owners of a 2019 GMC Acadia. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, I really want to get really deep into, I guess you could say, kind of big things that happened last year, things that promoted growth, mindset, and also healing. And those are some big aspects for me, especially when I started to go verbal last year. So what I mean by that is I decided to speak up about mental health, mental illnesses, and what kind of really sparked that. And I'm going to try to not cry, but I just want to briefly explain. It didn't trigger it, it kind of just sparked inside of me an insight of what people should know about, you know, people who deal with their own mental illnesses. So my good friend passed away last year. Saying it right now is kind of hard. Actually listening to myself. So my dear friend passed away last year. I'm not going to say how, but it was really tragic. It didn't really dawn on me how I felt about it until I started speaking up about it. I didn't really go to her funeral, mostly because I didn't know when it was, even though I was asking around. I ended up missing it, but I had to work that day. I started being verbal last year about anxiety and about my depression and how it's a real thing that, there are people every day in our everyday lives. You don't know what they're going through internally, and neither would they speak up about it because it's just taboo and nobody really thinks twice about it. There's a stigma around people who have mental illnesses. They're either viewed as crazy or nuts, or their feelings aren't validated. And that's something that we should speak up about. That should be a discussion in this day and age, especially with this world in turmoil. It's just something that we should look at and not put people down upon it. After my friend's passing, I started being more verbal about my anxiety and depression and how I'm coping with it. And I decided to seek help. Unfortunately, with my friend, it was too late. It just goes to show that people's mind are set to one stage when people talk about these things. There's no acceptance. You're either not accepted because you're being verbal about these things, or people just turn a blind eye. They're either ignorant about it, don't want to, they have no time for it per se, or quote unquote. But the truth of the matter is that no matter who you know or who you don't know, that person that's always laughing and smiling in the room, the happiest person in the room, could honestly be that person who dies because they just decided that their existence is not validated anymore. I mean, I hate to bring this up, but it is the sad truth. I mean, Robin Williams, Chester Bennington, the lead singer from, what's that band? I totally forgot it. Just slipped right by. These are discussions that we should have. It's the truth. I have been dealing with suicide and depression my entire life. The struggle is hard. Anxiety, especially for me, just waking up in the morning and getting my butt moving is so hard. But when I stick to myself and tell myself that I am worthy of my existence, I have a husband and a son that I should live for. I have a family that I should live for. Getting up in the morning, they are my driving force. I stick to a routine, which is working out. I noticed last year that I was just so broken, and I was searching for blame for something that happened in 2016. I'm gonna get into that later on. There was something that happened in 2016 and I was searching for blame. I was really hurt inside, but at the same time, I'm telling myself that, it's behind me. But my anxiety is telling me that it's my fault, that I'm not worthy of friendship, that I'm not worthy to be alive. It's hard to explain, but that's what anxiety does to you. And depression, on top of that, tells you that you're just completely worthless, basically. So back in 2016, we had like a falling out with our roommates, and it was such a really harsh way that it happened. I did make a couple of videos on how I felt about it, and like I said, inside I was searching for blame. I was obviously hurt and angry, and I was searching for someone to blame, but the reality was is that there was no one to blame. It was time that we all went our separate ways. But what really shocked me was that after having my son, I noticed that there was a part of me that just didn't feel right. I lost complete interest in everything. I was hurt about everything. I didn't know why. I was triggered or offended in certain ways that I could not explain, and it was just weird. And I would cry about every little thing. In the back of my mind, I'm telling myself that something's really wrong. So I told my husband, like, I feel fed up about everything and I think I should seek help. And that's exactly what I did. When I first went in, I explained the whole situation with the falling out of my roommates, that I was searching for blame, it didn't feel right, and I was explaining my anxiety and my depression. And it all came down to there was no one to blame, not even myself. What happened was the falling out of my roommates kind of triggered like an avalanche of just childhood emotions that I've buried so deep in myself, that what happened with them, because of the hurt and everything, it just triggered a whole bunch of, it just opened the floodgates. And what I was feeling was turmoil, anxiety, depression, suicide. I was feeling all of these emotions that I could not explain because it was buried so long for the past 30 years that when the falling out of my roommates happened, and it wasn't their fault, it was just the situation that happened just opened up a whole bunch of things. It all came from my childhood. I know that sounds a little cliche to say, but it is true. It all did come from my childhood. And as hard as that is to explain right now, my therapist was right. Even though I looked him dead in the eye and told him, no, you're crazy. So fast forward, when September came around, something extraordinary happened. One of my roommates actually reached back out to us, me, but not in a way that you would expect. It was actually through a friend invite, through Instagram, and I was still in the state of like, I didn't want to deal with anybody. I wanted to be in my own space, but at the same time, something inside me was telling me, or the universe was telling me, like, I should really talk with this person. But the way that I was feeling, I wasn't up to it. And I really had to level myself and come to terms with that, because it obviously was a long time coming, and it's something that I really needed to do for myself because I was healing. So September comes around and I finally say, all right, okay. And then that date came around, we had sushi, and I just hugged her. Not because I missed her or anything, it was just because, like I said, I was thankful. It sounds kind of bad that she was the one that actually had to reach out to me in a way, but we're not trying to look at that. We're just trying to look at the fact that we're able to come together finally, come to terms with everything, and we both agree that there was a huge, and I mean huge, miscommunication. When they left, I was pregnant. There was a mix of miscommunication between all of us, me, my husband, her, and her partner. We're adults here. We're not children anymore. And the way that I meant I'm sorry was in a way that, I hope in the future we can learn and grow from this. Should we decide to keep in contact, it's really up to her. And I'm just happy and thankful, like deep down in my soul, that this happened, that we were able to, I wouldn't say close a door, because that would mean, final, but I think it was just more of like a new beginning, like starting over a new friendship, kind of. Having to see her again and her partner again, and just being able for them to see Rowan too, my son, it was like the universe was kind of answering my prayer. It was like the first step into healing last year. And after that date, like, I hate to be getting to all details and sentimental right now. Having that moment, the next day I felt totally relieved. I wouldn't say that I was healed or cured. I would just say that it was like a weight off my shoulder. And since that day on, I've been coming to terms with myself and saying sorry to myself and accepting these flaws about myself, because that is the most that I can do. I am literally my own worst enemy, and there's no joke about that. I torment myself mentally every single day because I don't think I'm worth anything. I am slowly, I'm gonna be really honest and say that last year was a kickoff for healing. It was a lot of growing up here and in here. It was a lot of not apologizing to people, but to myself first and foremost. There was a lot that I had to educate my mother and my husband on. Because I went verbal last year, a lot of my in-laws questioned about what I was explaining. They took it negatively. Some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them took it negatively, even though it wasn't negative at all. That was a big thing in 2018. I was focusing on a game plan last year regarding myself, mindset, growth, my business, my family. So many things came together, and it came in a way to where everything just made sense, where the universe came together and just started placing all of these blessings in front of me and my husband, and I was like super overwhelmed and at the same time really grateful. And all those blessings just came rolling in, and these were like not major blessings, these were like tiny little ones. You know, every little thing kind of mattered, and I started feeling super grateful for it all. Not only the good blessings, but the blessings that came through trial and turmoil and tribulation, and being grateful for just the good and the bad last year. Rolling into 2019, there's no resolution this year. There's simply just a goal and a mindset that I have for this year. I'm continuing my journey of self-care and self-love and healing this year, just to promote growth and mindset this year, because my husband and I have such big plans, although it may not seem big to anybody else, but it's big for us. And you know, we know that everything is undecided for us this year. We have a plan, and it's either you fail to plan or you plan to fail. And then we also have some big goals as well, but that's for later on in the long run. But yeah, this year is continuing my journey of healing and self-love and self-care, and just stop apologizing for everything and start being apologetic to myself, and to tell myself stop saying sorry and just love myself. I'm still seeking help. Also, I'm getting the stuff out of my arm because I really need it out. I have a game plan in my business that I really want to promote, but I'm not going to share with any of it with you right now until I get this thing out of my arm. I'm taking ownership of myself this year. 2018 was a year of coming to terms with things about myself versus 2019, where it's just continuing my journey that I started last year. That life is not about the superficial materialistic things. It's about things that really matter, little blessings in life, the good, the bad, being grateful for it all. It's about being humble. I think that's number one, along with being grateful. And also just self-love and self-care. I encourage people to grow their minds instead of their wallets. Gain knowledge, learn a language or something. get cultured or whatever you call it. You know, learn a trade, take up a new hobby, whatever it may be. Just expand yourself to something that you know you can be more than. Start off a fitness business, or take care of yourself by exercising or eating right. You know, it is those little things. And I think this year is everybody's year. And if you truly want to make it your year, I suggest that we stop being offended about everything and start educating ourselves and start being humble and start being grateful. I wish everybody the best this year. I hope that you guys make this your year in 2019. I know the year just started. So whatever it may be, I hope you guys encourage yourselves to go ahead and be yourselves, I guess. That is it for this video. I will try to put out more content, and yeah, I just hope everyone has a great year this year. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah. Alright, so I'll see you guys in a new vlog. You guys have a good one. Stay blessed. Bye.